What's up, everyone? It's the Mouse of Ink, and we are back with a tattoo video. This one's going to be a lot more intimate as you are getting to see me tattoo myself, and I'm excited to share it with everyone. I tattoo myself all the time, but over the course of 10 years, I would say that I barely have any space left for me to get to that I can reach. But at the end of the day, I wanted to test out my new machine, which the red one in my hand, that's the store's machine, but that's two of the machines that I already have. And I love that brand, and I've been thinking about a new machine for a while. So I went ahead and made a purchase on that. And I was in there actually to buy supplies, just normal supplies for things that I had coming up this weekend. So yeah, it was just in there to get that, and I ended up finally investing in my fourth machine that I like. And I say fourth machine, like I haven't had other machines. This is, I would say, my career machines, the machines that I've had during the course of my career, not just machines that I had in the past or that was passed down to me. These were ones that, you know, they paid for themselves. That's what kind of machine I'm talking about. So, because it's what I'm in business with. So I find it important to see how it's hitting. And that is the reason that I decided to go ahead and give myself a few more tattoos so that I can see how it feels. I can test out some of the products that I picked up. And honestly, I would say 10 out of 10 on everything. The difference between this machine and the machine that I had is the stroke. So with this machine, I can control the stroke like I would in a coil. And a lot of people you're thinking that I just hopped to working with these pens. These pens are a part of a coil lineup and rotary lineup. So it had sisters and brothers that came before it that went bzzz, and I used to use those as well, but just due to having children in different environments and what works for me, having a more quiet environment, surprisingly, is the reason that I run with the pen or rotary machine, which my next purchase, because I already had a rotary, but my next purchase will probably be a Bishop rotary machine, and then I believe I'll have what I have and I'll be satisfied then. But this is an awesome machine to get back to getting into stroke with. I really like how it feels. Right now I'm operating and doing Coraline on my knee. I just went through line work, and now I'm pushing in the shading, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to continue to work on the line work more. As you notice, there's no stencil around it. I didn't put a stencil around it. I didn't, because I planned on just going and freehanding those with my hands and shading and doing what I wanted to do by sight. So, and the reason I trust myself so much is because I do tattoo for a living. I tattoo on other people, and I do very beautiful quality tattoos on these people. But me, I'm over here sitting, still with some of my kindergarten work on myself. And that's the reason that I'm fixing up all my work, is because, it's one of those things where you are a poster stamp. You are promotion of yourself, especially during summer. And with that time coming up, I wanted to fill in some of those gaps and test out that new machine. So I like the way this came out. Thank you, Phoenix, for holding the camera for me. This was scaled 1 to 10, 10 out of 10 paint. And I personally believe I should do some color to it, and that's why I left it more open. But for the most part, I love it because it did cover up lines that I wanted to cover up. I didn't extend it down too far, the shading, because I wanted to make sure that I left room for that dragon's horn, for whatever needs to be done with Shinron's horn. But yep, I got my Coraline on my knees, and I'm feeling much better. Well, I've fallen on my other knee, but on that knee, on my right knee, I now have my Coraline. So I'm feeling very, very hyped about that. Now the next piece, I am going to just draw it up for you in front of you. This is a Mickey Mouse piece. And what's so interesting about this and me, and what makes it unique to me, is I love, not Disney per se, but Mickey himself. I've always felt an attachment to Mickey. Even when I was in kindergarten, my first painting was a Mickey Mouse painting. This isn't kindergarten, guys. So yeah, you get a good look at Coraline right there. So I just drew that up and stenciled it right in front of me, right? And you see what we're gonna cover up. This is a very old piece of mine. This is one of my first tattoos. It's the reason it has to go. And I did this right in my bedroom as a child, y'all. I did that on myself, and I don't know what I was thinking. So we're gonna do Mickey, and at this point I didn't know if I was just gonna do Mickey, I was gonna do Mickey and something else. But I decided at this point that I was going to do Mickey catching a butterfly to also cover up the crown, because that's ugly too. And who wants stuff like that on them? Not me. Not when you're doing like, if y'all look at my portfolio, the tattoos that are in my portfolio just doesn't look like the shit of my body sometimes. And you know, be fair, I do have some famous artists on me. I have DaMouseOfInk, I have Oh Shit Sad on me, and they've done very pretty tattoos on me. And this one is actually, Dutch's tattoo is actually on my calf. So it's one of those things where I don't want people's eyes to be drawn to Dutch's tattoo and then drawn to my thigh and not liking you know what I'm saying? Like, the tattoos aren't for other people, but still, if let's say I had a photo shoot, because I'm not the selfie queen. I don't like taking selfies. So let's say I had a photo shoot, and in that photo shoot, you know, it's mad exposure on this thigh. I don't want it saying grumpy, dumpy, survival wava on it. I want it to look nice. So that's the reason I'm doing this. A lot of people too be like, why would you fucking tattoo yourself? Well, when you're a tattoo artist and you're very good at it and you can do cover-ups and stuff like that, and it's time. So I'm going to center myself, get myself positioned the way I want to, and then I'm going to tattoo my leg. Now, this is a technique that I use on many people. Yes, I'm calling it a technique. You see the way I put my paper towel in between my thighs? I do that to people when I tattoo their necks. I do that when I tattoo their thighs. I do that when I tattoo anywhere where I need cushion and there's no need to put a pillow. If I'm just working on that person, I'm running all that paper towel through them anyways. So that's one of my little tricks and techniques that I like to do. And I started with the line work on the butterfly because it's about, now another thing, people, because y'all are going to come at me anyways for doing so myself, but do you see the way this is directioned? It's the correct way. I'm so tired of seeing people tattoo themselves and see them tattoo that shit backwards. Like, tell me you're new without telling me you're new. Let me tell you something. If you cannot draw something backwards, do not attempt to tattoo it backwards. Seriously. It's just like with y'all left arm. I made that huge mistake when I was a kid. I tattooed my left arm. Do you know why you can't tattoo your left arm? Because you need both fucking hands. This is common sense. This is not a theory. It's none of that. That's just me telling you. Because I know you're going to see me tattooing myself and you're going to instantly say, well, she did it, so can I. And that's really not the case. Especially today when I put up, or yesterday when I put up all my artwork again, because I took it down to put it up to reposition it the way I wanted to. I have thousands of pieces. Please, guys, I have thousands of pieces and thousands of hours. I know I'm making it look easy. I know this don't look like it hurts, but it does. I know you're not seeing like all the stuff that I'm doing, but there's other things that I'm doing that's helping me out here. I am using a Bactine. I am using a numbing cream. You just didn't see those parts of the application. You get what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that didn't occur. It doesn't mean that we didn't take 5-minute breaks in between so I could breathe for a second, because it really fucking hurts. So please don't attempt to do this on yourself. This is not me trying to encourage you doing it yourself. I'm just letting you know. The other thing that you're not going to think about, because you probably knew what this is, liners and shaders and mags. I'm using 3 different types of needles, which you saw me go to the supplier and pick up stuff myself. This was not stuff that I went and got from Amazon, or I went and purchased a kit. This is all stuff that I'm adding to my reservoir of work that I already have, my stuff that I already have. And look, this is what I mean by it's painful. I went ahead, rolled me a blunt, chilled out for a second, because Jesus, man. I was like, I'm getting really far through this piece and I'm not even breaking. And then bam, right back to it. So, and this is what I mean too about people that try to say like they need multiple sessions for little stuff. Bro, just get it over with. It's gonna hurt. It's hurting me right now. I'm just sitting still because you have to sit still. That's the other thing. Sit still during your tattoo sessions with your tattoo artist, guys. Sit still. I've done a lot of these. Even my piece right there, that's really big, is a cover up where my wrist keeps covering it up. My daughter took my charger. My wrist keeps covering it up, but that was also a very hard piece because of the angle. Because at a certain point, y'all, my back. This is just not capable. I'm not capable of keep going far because of the angle that I am positioned. As the artist, you just have to be in a better position. So, or you have to wait until you can get yourself in a better position. So that's the reason no color has been put into it. But I think we did the job of getting Survivor gone for the most part, because I just didn't want to see that no more. You know, there's certain things that you're going to be to a certain point. If you have anything you need covered up, where you're going to be like, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cover that up myself. So yeah, and then I love that you can start to see Mickey from this point. From this point now, you can start to see that Mickey is a thing, and Mickey is falling for the butterfly. That is the whole thing. He's supposed to be falling for the butterfly, because really, that's my thing too. With my clients get the fuck off on me. Even today, TJ coming in, paying $100 for a session when the chair should technically run him like $500 each time he sits in it, you know, but at the end of the day, he did pay his G's out, and I really respect that. It was like $1,800 so far for his back, and I'm not bitching and complaining, but it's like one of those things where it's like, that's unheard of to get a back piece for that low of price. And I'm that artist that my clients are my butterflies. I chase them and fall for them, and they give me, the butterflies you get in your stomach. It's that kind of magical feeling when I'm tattooing them, and that also comes a part of being the Mouse of Ink. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where that comes from, and my logo and stuff with the Mickey ears. It's like there's this underlining dark part of Mickey. Excuse me, straightening my throat. But there's this underlining dark part of Mickey that I think a lot of people just overlook, completely overlook. They take his kindness for weakness. Remember, he inspires your children, folks. Half the movies you watch are Disney movies. And half the things you watch have been bought by Disney. So yeah, there's that part. So getting to the end here of this session, and I'm going to, and it's funny because I went backwards. You see how now I'm working on the butterfly last, whereas I lined it first. I only lined it first just to get it in there. It wasn't anything that was like, okay, I'm gonna line it and that's a serious outline and I'm done. Right here at this moment, you would not believe how many people during the actual tattoo session where I'm getting paid to tattoo them, where they're paying me good money, will say, are we done yet? Yeah, no. Please give your artist adequate time to do your tattoo. One thing that I realized while I was doing my tattoos is I just want to get it done and get it nicely done. Even from the perspective of also being in pain, because I'm my own client right now. You see how I'm not stopping and I'm dragging lines? This is how long this kind of tattoo should take. Even though it was a 17-minute video for y'all, it's about an hour and a half for me. And I think that's more than a reasonable time. And rushing through it wouldn't make no damn sense either. But this is where it really starts coming together, is when the shading is in the butterfly. And this is the importance of packing the black in. You have some people that be like, she's going over that spot over and over and over. No, I'm making sure that black is saturated because it needs to distinguish itself from the shading, and it needs to be packed in properly. And those lines need to be cleaned up. I tell a lot of my clients this: if you come and you see me, expect me to work on you an extra 15 to 30 minutes just looking over the lines and looking over the shading in between everything, the nooks and crannies. Give me a second. I know you're in pain, but at least I'm not that artist doing the white highlights. You feel me? I'm really not the artist doing the white highlights. So you can't be all mad at me when I'm telling you that this is a time constraining thing. Like, we have to focus. I will give you a break. I will numb you. Personally, I am not a holder of numbing cream. It's not something that I pick up, but it's a bit of a 2025 thing where when I'm doing this tattoo on myself, I realized that if I went with no numbing cream, it would have been more difficult. And right now, my part of the process, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, anesthesia is a good thing. No, first of all, did you see that client that just died over there in Brazil? Yeah, I bet you didn't know anything about that. Dude died in Brazil. He was getting a back piece, and he went under anesthesia and had too much anesthesia. And it's just that simple. And I think he even told them to crank the anesthesia up. First of all, if you're getting a tattoo, why get a tattoo at all if you think it's going to be painless? It's not and shouldn't be. If you look at, that's industry. If you think it's going to be painless, you're industry. If you know it's not going to be painless, you're most likely getting it for the purpose of culture, which those are the better and right reasons. You'll find the Inca people, you'll find the Egyptians, all of them, none of them had numbing cream, people. But the only thing that I would say is, I'm not saying it's a wussy move or not a wussy move. I'm saying that it's just smart to prepare yourself for a session. If you know you have a whole big ass piece, then you need to prepare yourself with some numbing cream. It wouldn't be smart to walk in the door without. But also, it's not smart to get anesthesia and completely put yourself to sleep, because that completely defeats the purpose of getting tattooed. Well, we are reaching the end of this video almost, and I went on a little tangent rant, but I just wanted to talk to y'all because some people, You know, they might think like, oh, well, she's an artist at home. And no, what it is when I'm at home, I'm safe and I can tattoo in my environment and be safe. And I can not have to watch Butterfinger's hands, Buttercup's hands, Bubbles' hands, Blossom's hands. Where's my money at? I don't have to do any of that when I'm in my space. So I'm excited to get to a session that I'm gonna have with a client tomorrow, which was today for me. But if you're watching this, this is, you know, whatever day for you. But yeah, so I'm excited to do that. But I wanted to come over, touch base. And you see, I'm coming back and I'm doing some more shading. That's what I meant. I'm even gonna stop because I'm almost there. This is just the details. This is just bringing out those wings, making them nice and crispy and pretty, and giving it a nice flow at the bottom. That's it. And it's at this point, if someone asked me if I was done, that I would look up at them and I'd be like, okay, whatever, fuck it. But you know, and I could have done even more to it, but just because of time restraints, I just ordered food and stuff, and it is a good time to just take a break and chill because it came out. I got what I wanted covered up, you know, and that's the point. I think a lot of people, they think something has to be way bigger than it is to cover it up, and it does not have to be way bigger than this. I left the S there because that was my first S I ever tattooed. Y'all, tatted that S when I was a kid, and I kind of like it. And the top of the crown, I left that because it's kind of cute in between the butterfly. I kind of like it. Until I decide what I want in between or a filler that's gonna fill it nicely, I'm not gonna rush. And then I'm also going to be covering up the spot on the top of my thigh too. So yeah, that's that. And imagine if I added color to it. That's the other thing. A lot of people think black people can't get color. I'm eager to debunk that for y'all. So on my next session on myself, I will definitely be coloring in this and the Coraline piece. They came out pretty fresh to me. I love that butterfly. And the funny thing is that butterfly is beside my very first butterfly. You see the butterfly wing that it's beside? That's my very first butterfly next to that one. Next to my most recent because I did it on myself. So that's really cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe if you like and you want to see more videos, more intimate videos like this where I'm just telling you what's on my mind about tattoos, little tips and tricks and other stuff. Just let me know. I'd love to make more. It hurt. 10 out of 10 in pain. Numbing cream at all. 10 out of 10 in pain. And it wasn't even that big of a piece. But that's just an example of how you don't have to go any bigger than you gotta go to get a piece covered up. And there's always the fillers. Always remember your fillers can also cover up a piece. All right, see you guys. Peace out. Look at my cat back there. Look at that. Yeah, you catch that butterfly, Mickey. You're beautiful. You catch that butterfly.